The third factor is fellowship. This is Sufism part 4. The third factor is fellowship with all aspects and expressions of life. There is nothing evil as such, for everything being a creation of the beautiful, nothing can ever be ugly. This is positivity. And what we call evil is, according to the Sufis, the condition precedent to the manifestation of his light and love. In as much as manifestation is made possible by placing the antithesis of juxtaposition. For instance, light is known by the non-light being. Light is known by the non-light being, so to speak, bracketed with it. Verily, the beauty of the beloved is seen in the dark. It is man that is at fault in the matter. It is he whose eye has not been cleared of the dust of duality. Love is the fulfillment of all laws, said the Master. And so the Sufi has no laws as such to regulate his search. Love is the king, sing the Sufis, and love is no sergeant at arms. Love is the king. The ethical or the ascetic Sufi has, however, reduced these fundamental standpoints of the Sufis to so many formulae and stations, as they call them. They envisage the search after truth as a journey which is marked by stages, while the unitive Sufi holds that the realization of truth is a pathless reality, like the trackless path of the birds of the air. These stages are called Shariat, Tariqat, Marfat, Hakikat. In the first stage, the seeker lives within the boundaries marked out of him by the scriptures, Shariat. His ideal is the Qazi. In the second stage, he is shaken out of his self-complacency by having his intelligence quickened through the repetition of a certain mantra or sacred word. When the intelligence has become keener, the seeker is thrown into the maelstrom of doubt. That is the third stage. Eventually, when doubt has raised his castle of cards to the ground and the truth of oneness has dawned upon him, he finds his center, which is also the center of the universe, sing the Persian poet. Thou thinkest thou art but a small thing, whereas in thee is involved the whole universe. They lay stress on the purification of the self, which consists of nafs, the appetitive soul, ruh, the spirit, qual, the heart, aql, the intelligence. For they say that unless this is done, the little self will persist in accompanying the aspirant or the lover when he goes to the tryst to meet the beloved. He is my own little self, my Lord. He knows no shame, but I am ashamed to come to thy door in his company. Thus, we have two kinds of Sufis, the unitive kind and the ethical kind. The former are like flowers in the vase or vessel, placed on the altar. Rather, they are like flowers growing in the open, in sunshine, and in shower. While the latter are like the vessel on the altar, which must be scrubbed and scoured every day in order to make it clean and bright. There is, however, the third kind, which is the golden mean between the two. They follow the discipline of their own. The neophyte is asked in the earliest stages of his spiritual apprenticeship to serve his fellow creatures for a certain number of years. This helps him to keep his little self in its proper place. For as he serves, he has to keep before him the ideal, thou my brother, not I. Thou my brother, not I. This reminds on the Lehant's poem, Abu Ben Adam and the angel, in which we are told at first Abu's name was not among the names of those who love the Lord. It was, however, at the head of the names of the people who love their fellow creatures. Could it be that Abu was in this probationary stage? Later on, he has to serve God while watching over his heart, for which the purpose he has to retire into himself. When ultimately he has found what may be called the rhythm of life, he once more enters on an active life. Nowadays, the two stages of service and self-collectedness are combined. The aspirant has, during the day, to engage himself in some activity of a beneficent kind, while at night he must commune with himself. The unitive Sufi is one who lives in the world and yet is not of the world. To him, silence and work are the observe, are the obverse and reverse of the self same coin. Obverse and reverse of the self same coin. Silence and work. The ethical Sufi, however, hovers between law